Sex Talk with Erika Miley. 'Cause sexuality is tough. And okay, sex just isn't good enough. No. Sex Talk with Erika Miley.
Hello, folks, and welcome to Sex Talk with Erika Miley. Erika Miley here. I have a wonderful guest with me, Melanie Cristol, founder and CEO of Lorals, available at mylorels.com. Melanie, welcome. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
I want to hear everything about Lorals. I'm so excited for the listener. I'm so excited for the listener because we're going to talk all about oral sex today. Oral sex for everybody. That's how I feel about it. So, but I want the listeners to know what Lorals is first. And then I think we'll just jump right into the origin story because I think Lorals is kind of like a superhero. So I feel like you need like the origin story.
Okay, will do. So at Lorals, we make panties for oral sex and rimming. They are designed to look just like silk lingerie, but they're actually made of natural latex. So they're ultra thin and incredibly stretchy to allow all of the sensations of oral to pass through, but then they're also non-porous. So they block fluids or a partner's scratchy facial hair or self-consciousness or basically whatever's holding the receiver back from pleasure. And then also right now we're pursuing FDA clearance of our products so that they can be an STI prevention device so that they would essentially, they would essentially be like hands-free and beautiful alternatives to dental dams.
I was looking at all of the pictures online and on Instagram, which we will get to that later, folks, because their Instagram is fantastic. But like, I was thinking, I'm like, this would be the best alternative to dental dams ever.
Yeah. So you asked about the origin story, and that actually is the origin story. So I was on a really fancy vacation and I needed a dental dam. And, you know, here we are at this like beautiful romantic location and trying to have a wonderful experience in lots of different ways. But, you know, there aren't dental dams that are readily available. And honestly, like, even if dental dams were readily available throughout the country and throughout the world, they just didn't seem adequate, like, for that situation. You know, they're so hard to use. You have to hold them in place. They move from the front of the body to the back, which can cause UTIs. And, like, frankly, they're just not sexy. And, you know, when you're when you're like in this intimate like vacation experience, you want like everything about it to be as sexy as possible. And dental dams just felt like they detracted from that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, you know, I then started thinking about this idea all the time. I actually was a lawyer at the time, and I would be, you know, like sitting in my office and trying to write legal briefs and discovery and all of that stuff. And instead I was thinking about oral sex.
Of course, because that's way more fun.
Why not? And I just got really excited about the idea of taking a dental dam and making it something beautiful that people would feel proud to wear. And then as I was thinking about this, I actually talked to a lot of friends, talked to a lot of people, and eventually I did a survey online of strangers. And I found that so many women had declined oral sex when they really wanted it. And, you know, STIs was definitely one reason, but there were a lot of other reasons too. Like for some people, it just felt really intimate and that felt uncomfortable for them. Or, you know, if a lot of people, if they're on their periods, will say no to oral. A lot of them will say no because they just exercised. And, you know, there's just so many reasons why people turn down oral, which is just this really wonderful experience. And I realized that this, you know, thing that I thought of as a dental dam replacement could actually just be like this wonderful way to open up oral sex to many, many people who weren't experiencing it as often as they wanted to.
It's absolutely fantastic. I think the idea, like you talked about the movement of the dental dam and trying to hold this square or whatever shape it comes out of the package of, you know what I mean? Like, and trying to hold it down, trying to not get a UTI, trying to, like, there's a lot of distraction from what you are supposed to be enjoying.
Yeah. And then also for the giver too. I mean, because the material is so loose, it often can get caught up your nostrils or inside of your mouth. And so it's just really, I mean, I'm appreciative that these products exist for sure, but it just felt like there was so much room for improvement. And then I thought of the idea to basically turn it into a panty and to, make it a seamless product, something that, people would feel proud to put on, that was easy to use, that made them feel really confident and comfortable.
Like I said in the beginning, the website is mylorals.com. Check these out because they're, like she just said, they're beautiful, but also the packaging is easy to carry.
Yeah, we thought about that a lot, actually. I wanted to make sure that people could fit the packaging like in their butt pocket in like a pair of jeans or something. So I wanted to make it small enough that it would just be like easy to bring wherever, or, it fits into like, a purse or, a small pocketbook or like, any kind of bag that you're carrying, obviously. But jeans were important to me. Just like be able to slide into the back of your jeans, just like a condom would. So the packaging is like small and thin enough to be unobtrusive in a lot of different locations. You can carry them anywhere.
Yes. I mean, I think that's also what's great about like condom packaging. It's small, it's easy to carry around, it's easy to conceal if you need to. And I think that's what's great about Lorals packaging too, is that it's small, it's easy to conceal if you need to do that. So, I mean, you've kind of been into this, you've kind of talked about this already. Talk to me a little bit about like the importance, at least what you think the importance of oral sex is.
Yeah. So to me, oral sex is this really amazing experience that you're able to share with a partner. It can often be just this extraordinary gift to you and just all about you for, all of those minutes or I don't know, maybe hours, it's really all about you and your pleasure. And I think that is such an empowering, beautiful experience for somebody to be able to have. And, in addition to that kind of empowerment, having it be all about you, oral sex is actually very likely to lead to orgasm for women. It's actually 3 times more likely to lead to orgasm than intercourse. And that's a wonderful thing to be able to happen. Orgasms have so many benefits for us, physical health, mental health. And I want women to be able to experience as much physical pleasure as they possibly can. I think that there has been, this thing described as the pleasure gap, with men in straight relationships tending to have an orgasm more than twice as frequently as women do. And to me, oral sex is really a key to solving that orgasm gap. So if more women are receiving as much oral sex as possible, whether they're using Lorals or not, I love the idea of increasing the amount of oral sex so that women can also have as much pleasure as possible during intimate activity.
Absolutely. I think what you're talking about is really important, and doing things and creating products and creating a culture around a product that will allow for more pleasure.
Yes.
And that is just fantastic. I'm on board for that. Quick break from the action, folks. Action. I just want to tell you about my Patreon. Every week, I bring you guests and seriously, lots of sex nerdery. Help me keep doing that by becoming a supporter. What do you get in return? Cool perks. For real. I am going to be doing shout outs, stickers, a bunch of stuff. So check it out at erikamiley.com/Patreon. That's erikamiley.com/Patreon. I hope to see you and see more of you by becoming a Patreon. Thanks, guys. So what about, I don't want to let folks just assume. It's obviously single use. You're not going to use these again and again. You're going to have several of these like you would a condom. Tell me about the benefits of single-use lingerie.
Yeah, I mean, very similar to a condom in that, they are single use. We actually make the product out of the same latex that's used for condoms. And in making the product single use, we're able to make it so incredibly thin. It's about 10 times as thin as a regular panty. So you're able to just feel so much. It feels almost like it's skin to skin contact. And, if we were to instead make a product that was usable multiple times, we would have to make it thicker. And my biggest goal is helping people feel as much sensation as possible and be able to say yes to oral sex as much as possible. And so if you want oral sex to feel really great, you got to use this really thin, stretchy material. And so, that's why we made it single use.
I think that's fantastic. It's not easy to weigh those benefits, and I think that's an important looking at pleasure. If pleasure is the goal, it seems to make sense that single use would be the best fit for that.
Yeah, there's definitely other products out there. Like, I think that there are harnesses that you're able to snap a dental dam into. And, I think that they're definitely helpful for people, but I wanted to make a product that was as easy to use as possible. I felt like the more steps that were involved to putting something on and snapping something in and pulling things out of multiple packages, I thought that would lead people to be less likely to use the product. And since we are trying to give people more oral sex experiences by using the product, I thought that would lead to less oral sex happening. And I wanted as much oral to be happening as possible. So I wanted this product to be really, really easy to use. So when you get a packet of Lorals, you just kind of rip it open on top like you would a condom. The packaging is similar material to condom packaging material. And you just pull out the panty and open it up and slip it on. It's very, very easy to use so that it doesn't really cause any trouble in your intimate experience. It just, you can integrate it very easily. You pull it on and then you have your fun.
Fantastic. I think there's something to be said of ease of use. And I think that what you're saying, like, again, having pleasure being the focus and the primary drive for your product, I think that is absolutely an excellent way to look at it. So, like, when you were starting this process, when you started doing the testing, like, what were some of the things you got into? Some of the things that you thought, oh, okay, now we know that. Now we're going to change it and make it a little different. So, during the beginnings of this project, like, what hiccups did you have?
I love that question. So we went through so many rounds of prototypes. I would say probably dozens of rounds of prototypes. When we initially started, the prototypes that I was getting back from the manufacturers were just too thick. You would put them on and then, you would start testing them out and you just want to be able to feel very much sensation. And so I realized really early on that we needed to make this material as thin as possible. And that actually required us to come up with new manufacturing techniques that hadn't existed before. You might have seen some latex novelty garments before, and they are, and they're usually 0.33 to 0.5 millimeters thick, but Lorals by comparison are 0.06 to 0.08 millimeters thick. So much thinner. I think, what is that, like 5 to 7 times thinner than latex lingerie that had previously existed. So we had to figure out how to do that. Then once we were able to make it thin enough, then we also wanted to make it look really beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. If you ever take a look at a condom really close up, you kind of pull it apart, stretch it apart, you can often see little streaks of latex in it. So like where the latex is a little bit thicker than other areas. And we wanted to make sure that Lorals didn't have streaks in them, because if you're wearing a panty and you want to feel sexy, you don't want to have like weird, ugly streaks in it. You want it to be like smooth and all one color, like a normal, item of lingerie that you would wear. So we also had to figure out new manufacturing techniques to make sure that there weren't streaks in the latex. Then another thing that we wanted to be really careful about is condoms often, and most latex products often will have a rubber scent to them. So we did not want there to be a rubber scent at all. We wanted it to taste good for the giver. So that involved 2 steps. The first step was changing the manufacturing process a bit to remove essentially all of the rubber scent. And then we also add a slight flavoring of vanilla, just a simple, delicious taste that kind of covers up any micro remnants of the rubber odor. So really, like when you are licking Lorals, it tastes just like you're, I don't know, licking vanilla cookies or whatever. So it's a nice taste. So that was really important as well. Oh, and then the last thing was I wanted to make sure that the texture on the outside was really smooth and that it looked like lingerie. We worked really hard to make it basically look like a silk pair of panties. If you look at the texture, it looks like somebody's wearing ordinary lingerie, and that was really important as well. Oh, I thought of one more thing. Sorry, I get kind of excited about the design process.
Of course. That's it's exciting.
Another thing that was really important was making sure that Lorals fit as many people as possible. We wanted to have really broad sizing options. We are sort of halfway there at this point. We have a product that's one size and we've made it really, really stretchy and, able to fit bodies that are sizes 0 through 14 based on Victoria's Secret sizing. That's 34.5-inch hips to 44.5-inch hips. We definitely want to improve upon that in the future. It involves us getting new tooling and a new manufacturing process. It's really different than like making normal apparel because unlike normal apparel that's sewn together, Lorals are made through a latex dipping process. But anyway, we are definitely intending on expanding our size range and ensuring that Lorals are available for as many people as possible. But right now, we're really excited that with one size, we're able to cover such a wide range of body types.
Yes. I mean, that's fantastic. Depending on what sizing system you look at, of course, the fashion industry isn't always as body positive as we would want it to be, but you're getting all the way to 14, which is fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm so glad to hear that is a goal of your company. It's just
fantastic. As we were designing it, we actually, we had fit models come in from a variety of different sizes to ensure that, not only that did the product stretch to fit all different kinds of body types, but also that it looked good on a variety of body types. So we adjusted the design a bit to make sure that everybody looked as great and as confident as possible.
I love the word fantastic, and my listeners know that, so I'm just going to keep it. It's fantastic. So, as far as how folks find Lorals and how do they find, I love the Instagram, so folks find this Instagram. How do they find you? How do they find you in the world?
We are available at mylorals.com. That's MYL Oral S. So it's, LORALS is the name of the company. And then you can also find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at MyLorals. Those are the good places to go for now. Yeah, that's it.
Yay! Yay! So I am so glad that you came to join us. And folks, thank you for sticking with us to the end. And go check out My Lorals. I mean, the website is beautiful. Everything. I can't wait I'm going to pick up a few myself, drop them into a few of my friends' bags just so that they can give them a shot.
Love it.
Because oral sex for everyone, if it's at all possible.
Yes.
So thank you again, Melanie. And listeners, you guys have a good rest of your week.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening, folks. Please rate and review on iTunes. That helps this podcast get found. If you leave a 5-star review, let me know about it on any social media, and I'll shout you out on the podcast. You can find my website at erikamiley.com. You can find me on Facebook, the Gram, and Twitter. See y'all next time.